Hello guys and welcome to the Nostalgia Film Podcast with myself, Josh. We have also Joe and James here today as well.
Hello.
So what's going to be happening in this episode? We're going to be reviewing films like The Big Wedding, The Last Stand, The Call, Rise of the Guardians, The Avengers, and Iron Man 3, both an unspoiler and a spoiler review. We're going to talk about The Dark Knight Rises and why we personally think we need to rewatch it. We're going to do our box office predictions for the USA. Just a reminder that The Great Gatsby and Peoples is out. We're going to do James's news segment, trailer reviews for the Wolverine Comic-Con trailer, Red 2 and White House Down, the new Channing Tatum film. We're going to do two battles today. We're going to do our first one will be Man of Steel or Iron Man 3, which one we were most anticipating. Then we're going to do Marvel Cinematic Phases, and then we're going to do our Justice League, what we would prefer to see, Justice League or the Avengers 2.
Okay.
Got a couple of little
Notices?
Are we gonna move straight into reviews or?
Yep, we'll go straight into The Big Wedding.
Okie dokie. Well, I haven't seen that film, so that's pretty much just gonna be you, Joe. I don't even know anything about it either. Apart from it's a
The Big Wedding. It's got an all-star cast: Robert De Niro, Diane Keaton, Susan Sarandon. It's got a really good Oscar-worthy cast, and it's a waste, to be honest. It's one of the worst movies of the year so far. Its script is just dreadful, dying for some, dying for something new. Like, I've already seen this stuff before. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. Honestly, it's one of the worst movies of the year so far. And it's not even disappointing because I wasn't even expecting much from it. And that's where...
Who's the lead in?
I'm not very sure, to be honest. It was just so jumbled.
A comedy that I think is going to be good this year is Hangover Part 3, though. I went to Guildford yesterday. I saw posters everywhere advertising it.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it just because it looks different. But Hangover 2 was just the same as the Hangover 1. It was a complete waste of time. So
yeah.
I don't really know. I will watch it, but I'm not really sure if I think it's going to be the best of the year.
No.
Yeah. How about The Last Stand, guys?
Oh, God.
I didn't like The Last Stand that much, to be honest. I thought it was pretty average. It was, I think, it had some pretty badass action, but in parts it was pretty boring. I think the story was a little bit far-fetched. I don't know, I just didn't really believe anything that was going on.
It proves how bad Arnold Schwarzenegger is as an actor.
You've got to admit...
He actually can't act.
You've got to admit, the only thing which he acts in which works is Terminator because he can't act and he's like
he doesn't need to act.
And Kindergarten Cop, I liked him in that Kindergarten Cop.
I didn't mind that film, but...
I like True Lies and... What's the other one? Well, Terminator 1 and 2. There's another
What about number 3?
I've got that on DVD.
Terminator 3 is not a good film.
Oh, I bought that on DVD.
It is a terrible film.
I don't... Oh, now you've made me not want to watch it.
I don't think Terminator 3 is terrible. I just thought everybody got a little bit disappointed by it, that's all.
It was a bit pointless. It didn't really do anything.
Yeah, because at the end of Terminator 2, spoiler alert, at the end of Terminator 2, doesn't Arnie, he goes into lava and stuff, and that's, where the film ends. And he's in Terminator 3, so I don't really get that, but, yeah.
Alright, what do we give The Last Stand?
I'd probably give it about a 2 out of 5.
1.5.
I'd probably give it a 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
Alright, that's not very strong for The Last Stand. Anyway, let's move on to Halle Berry's The Call.
Didn't see this one.
I heard about it. Isn't it about her just on the phone to someone the whole time or something?
No. Like, she takes matters into her own hands.
Yeah, but she's on the phone to someone who's in trouble and then she saves them or something stupid.
Yeah. It's like that. I liked it. It's really thrilling and suspenseful. Not the best script, but Halle Berry, one of her best performances. It's really thrilling, and I was on the edge of my seat because thrillers like, for example, Gangster Squad, that was meant to be a thriller. Like some thrillers can't even get me in the middle of my seat, to be honest. But this one had me gripped. The story was so entertaining. Oh, not entertaining. It was so kind of raw and kind of real. Like this happens to people. So I guess, I got into it a little bit more knowing.
But if say that the main character was someone like a bit more of an unknown, because it's Halle Berry, didn't like kind of take you out of it a bit? Like it's clearly not going to happen.
It didn't, because she had
I can't take Halle Berry seriously in anything.
No. After Catwoman, I guess no, not even going to bother talking about it. It doesn't even
Not even. What about in X-Men? X-Men. You could not take her seriously in that either.
No.
Oh my god.
She has a weird hairstyle in this, so you're kind of wondering, is this Halle Berry, or is she coming in later in the movie? Because she has like this really strange hairstyle.
Better than being stripped half naked and calling herself a superhero or whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this
I watched
a 4.
Catwoman the other day. It is terrible.
It
is very bad.
I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
What, The Call?
Yeah.
Really? I thought it wasn't supposed to be that good. Actually, that's quite surprising, because it doesn't really sound like it's about much. But I suppose it's your opinion, so...
Yeah, it has a quite interesting story, like, if you actually give it a chance. It takes a while to set up, but I think those are the moments you'll cherish the most if you just pay attention.
Awesome. Are we going?
Right.
What we're moving into
Rise
now?
of the Guardians.
Rise of the Guardians. I did not like this.
I enjoyed Rise of the Guardians.
I didn't mind it. I thought I was in for something that was like funny, but I think
it was not funny.
It took itself a bit too seriously. That's what kind of took me out of The Dark Knight Rises. That it's too serious. But this, I did kind of enjoy it.
Because the thing.
The Dark Knight was way too serious for
the Dark Knight was serious, but it had the Joker as kind of a dark comic relief. Whereas in The Dark Knight Rises, it's just like, well, there's nothing funny in this film.
Yeah.
I think Rise of the Guardians, though, it was an enjoyable film, but I got into it. I was thinking, I'm not really laughing in this film, and it was entertaining to a certain point, but the ending just kind of wrapped it up in about a minute, and then it was done. It was like you watched a whole film for virtually no reason. It was like I don't know. It was above average. I wouldn't say it was amazing, but I'd like to know what you didn't like about it though, because I thought it was alright.
When I saw the trailer,
I thought it was boring.
When I saw the trailer,
it was one of the most boringest kids movies I watched in my life.
I thought when I first saw it that it was like an animated movie for adults who see like Santa and he looked like all dark and like he was gonna like go around killing people and stuff. And
he kind of does.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a bit of it's a bit different. I didn't really know it. I thought it was an interesting twist. I think it was pretty cool how it was a Christmas movie, but it was based at Easter. But that was about the only thing that I really thought was good about it. I think it was an average film. I'm not going to buy it, but I think...
But the animation is the best of last year.
It is good.
But I watched Brave again today, and I thought that animation was so realistic.
Guys.
I'm going to watch Brave again, because I think I need to give it
You guys are probably going to kill me for this, but I kind of enjoyed Madagascar 3. Kind of.
So did I.
Oh, good. Thank God I'm not the only one. I thought it was better than the second one.
It was a lot of fun.
Madagascar 3. Oh my God.
It's better than the second one.
No,
Madagascar 3 was actually funny. Besides Rise of the Guardians.
All right, let's just... Oh, can we talk spoilers? It is only Madagascar 3, so... Can I talk a couple of spoilers about it? Right. At the end of Madagascar... No, well, in the middle of Madagascar 1, they are, like, taken away from that zoo because they're wild animals. Yeah. And then at the end of Madagascar 3, they go back, and there was some massive, like, everyone's cheering and stuff, and then they get put back in, like... They get pretty much said that they can go back into the zoo if they wanted. and it's like, can they though, when they've just been like sent out to like where they got put on a ship,
and it's so
and then,
stupid how they swam to Monte Carlo.
yeah.
That was kind of
I mean,
funny
was
though,
one of
the
the-
bit where like Melman the giraffe's
No.
head went out
Do
the
you
water
remember-
though.
Yeah, but
I
do you
kind of
remember-
cringed a little. I was a bit.
Yeah, I did. Like, how the hell did Alex the Lion actually do that when in the first one he's scared of water?
It's supposed
Yep.
to be light-hearted.
That is- Yeah, but they make it pretty clear that he does not like
yeah,
water.
I know.
And
We obviously took this movie a bit too seriously, but
Yeah.
overall, I thought it was
Yeah.
funny.
It deserves that.
But I didn't.
yeah, I'll go with that then. Actually, yeah, fair enough.
Rise of the
I enjoyed it,
Guardians.
but it just wasn't special in any way.
What are we gonna score Rise of the Guardians?
Oh,
3.
yeah, Rise of the Guardians. Yeah, 3.
I'm gonna go with 2. I don't mean to be a party pooper, but I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, fair enough. I can understand why someone might not like it if they're going in thinking it might be funny. So it's
I didn't expect funny. I just expected a light-hearted,
Better.
fun family film, and I didn't get that. But let's move on to
The Avengers!
my second movie of last year, The Avengers.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr., you are awesome.
Right, I'm not gonna lie. I think every time I watch the Avengers, it gets a little bit worse.
No, don't say that. I think it gets better.
I think it's a bit more
Really?
boring the
'Cause when
more
I
you
watched
watch it.
Yeah, that's true. Because the first time I watched it in cinemas, I thought it was amazing. I went to watch it again in cinemas, and it was good. And then I watched it at home, and I'm just like, this isn't as good as what I remember. And it's probably just because once you've seen it, and it's like, I don't
Like you've
really know.
experienced it.
Yeah. It's not really
Like you've experienced like all these Marvel characters coming together, and I think the first time that's something special because like that's
not
never been done
before.
before.
Yeah. But no, I get a little bit disappointed each time I watch it, but it is still like probably definitely one of the best films of last year.
Yeah, it was my second favorite after
Is
Looper.
it just me?
Looper was a
Oh,
good.
does Tony's suit with the triangle on its chest annoy you?
No,
For
actually.
me, I just hate it. It's
It,
supposed to be a circle.
yeah, but when I look at Iron Man 2 and then I look at Iron Man 1 and I see the circle annoys me. So I just got used to the kind of the triangle. I actually quite liked Iron Man 2 compared to a lot
I
of
didn't
people.
mind it.
But I thought it was pretty good, but a lot of people
I thought it was disappointing, but I still had a lot of fun.
Yeah. You can watch it like whenever you want. You can rewatch it like
Someone
loads,
comes around my house
so-
and says, "Hey, do you want a light-hearted film to watch?" Yeah, why not put on Iron Man 2?
Yeah. Whereas
Yeah.
the first Iron Man's actually a really good film, and you have to savor that moment. The first one has some incredible scenes in it. You know, when there's like he's in the cave and all that, and he's just building that like suit out of like scrap metal. That's like probably one of my favorite scenes in that film.
But yeah, I think that the Avengers was really funny at some parts as well. Cause
Yeah,
the
no,
Avengers was
did have
hilarious.
quite a lot of humour, but not like kick-ass humour where it's just like it's supposed to try and be funny.
comedy.
Yeah.
What are we gonna give the
4.5
Avengers?
out of 5 arc reactors.
5 out of 5. I just have.
I'd give it a 5 out of 5 for my first impression, but probably about a 4.5 on like because I watched it the other day and I wasn't that blown away by it. But
Fair enough.
it's still a good film. Great film.
Yeah. Iron Man 3. Do you want to start off with the non-spoilers or go straight into the spoilers?
It doesn't really matter. We can just say your opinion on the film and then say what kind of annoyed you by
I thought it was awesome.
spoilers. So
There we go.
yeah, I thought it was a.
I thought it was
okay,
disappointing, but I still
It's like my
loved it, to
favourite
be
Marvel
honest.
superhero movie besides the Avengers.
No way,
I
you cannot
just
say
did.
that. Why? No,
Yeah,
no,
but
no,
think
no.
about it. What would you like more? Iron Man 1?
Iron Man,
What else?
Thor even.
Thor
Captain
wasn't
America,
that
I
good.
like.
Captain
I
America
hated
wasn't that
Captain
good.
America.
I'm not gonna lie, I think
I-
Iron Man 3 is
I-
probably a lot better than Captain America and Thor. One thing I wanted to say was, don't you think though that after the Avengers kind of messed everything up a little bit in like kind of the scheme of things where like you had Iron Man 1 and 2, but the Avengers was practically Iron Man 3. It was more about Tony Stark than anyone. And then
which sucked because he was
it
getting a sequel a year later.
Yeah, he's already going to get a sequel. So when I saw Iron Man 3, I wasn't really that bothered about it. So I would have
liked to seen a little bit more of Hawkeye, to be honest.
Yeah, but when
I
you
think
think
in the
about
comics he has a really interesting story, but I think it was a bit of a waste in the Avengers, to be honest.
Yeah, but Hawkeye seems like more of a cameo than anything in the Avengers. Same with Captain America. I mean, why is he even there? You've got Iron Man who can probably save you all anyway.
But
it just seemed pointless.
Captain America is the leader of the Avengers.
He doesn't do anything.
I know, but that's because he is the leader. Nick Fury is like the leader of all of them, but Captain America is the captain of all of them.
In the movie.
And in the
movie
books.
he is.
No, in the comic book he is, but in the actual film it doesn't work like that because he has no like actual good powers. Like in the Captain America film, it seems like he's unstoppable, but when you put him next to like the Hulk, it's just like, well, look at this average person. It's like Captain America's got absolutely nothing going for him.
And so does the Hulk or Black Widow. It is really the Iron Man show.
Yeah, it's Iron Man and Thor, but to be honest, Thor, I don't even remember what he did in the Avengers. Like, I remember him just stood on top of a building shooting lightning and stuff. But...
He was closing the portal, wasn't he?
Tony annoys him by quoting Shakespeare. He throws the hammer at Tony. That's all I remember.
But that's near the start, isn't it?
Almost an hour in.
Don't you think that the Avengers was actually a pretty... Like, they wanted to get the Avengers together, didn't they? Like, Nick Fury and everyone. Yeah. But wasn't it kind of luck that Thor even turned up?
Well, maybe he was going back to see his girlfriend.
Stop making me change my opinion
Let's just talk about Iron Man 3.
Let's just move on. Yeah.
Go with Iron Man 3.
A lot of you people will switch me off the Avengers, and I do not want that.
Okay.
Oh, shall we just talk spoilers?
Yes, the Mandarin is a paid actor.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was the worst thing about it. And how Gwyneth Paltrow goes down.
Gwyneth Paltrow gets like powers at the end.
Yeah, but they go away.
That ruined it more for me.
They go away after she killed Killian.
I think it would have worked if she just died.
It would have worked if she died. It would have worked if that other guy died who was in the hospital bed. To be honest, it would have worked if Tony Stark actually died because like there's nowhere to go for
I would
Iron
have
Man
liked him in the Avengers 2.
I can't even see him in it now, though. I can't actually see what they would do with him because it looks like they're just going to get rid of some characters and bring in new ones.
Bring in like Wolverine and the Thing and the Fantastic Four. Because if you see the new Avengers comic book, you see that on the front it has Spider-Man in a white costume, the Thing, like some of the Fantastic Four, and Wolverine.
Spider-Man won't be in it.
I'm just saying. Yeah, me too.
I wish he was.
Yeah, I do as well. That would make it. That would have made it the best film ever.
And it would have worked because the Amazing Spider-Man 2 comes out in 2014. It would have been a great setup for him.
Yeah.
Like it could have welcomed into the Marvel Cinematic phase.
Yeah, but it's due to like who actually owns the rights to it, isn't it? And I don't think Marvel can actually are actually allowed to put Spider-Man in it. It's
Sony
it's the same with Fantastic Four as well because they're making a new Fantastic Four film, and I don't think that.
Great.
I don't know. It doesn't really look like it has much hope for it because I can't see them making a good one. But it's just because I think the character is a bit far-fetched. Like I don't know, like people stretching about and stuff because obviously he's like elastic, isn't he? I don't know how well it will work on like the big screen and everything, but
I think as a comic book fan, Iron Man 3 really frustrated me because Mandarin is one of the most powerful Iron Man villains, and what they did with him was kind of disgusting.
I didn't mind it as much as other people, but I suppose that him being a paid actor was just for comedy reasons.
But have you read?
No, but I know about the storyline Extremis, which is what Iron Man 3 is based off of. I know about that comic book. I just haven't read it.
All right then.
Fair enough. But No, I thought everything that happened with the Mandarin was, it would, if that was like,
and it didn't even work to the full potential.
yeah, I think it could have been good on paper. Like it could have been, oh my god, that could have been the best twist ever. But it wasn't actually done very well. Like it just seemed like, oh look, he's not actually the Mandarin. It's actually this person, and it's like, no, that's like a Scooby Doo ending. That's like, it was like that. I don't know. I just think Guy Pearce has been a bad guy in so many other films. It's just like he kind of loses his sting.
I think I liked him in this movie.
Ben
I didn't
Kingsley,
get enough recognition.
Ben Kingsley was Gandhi. I mean, he would have been the best villain ever. Like Gandhi, a villain. That's just incredible. But
like Guy he was Pearce, up to the Joker standard until what they did with him.
Yeah, he was actually a really good villain, and they kind of did ruin it. But I wasn't really that annoyed by it until coming out of the cinema. I was like, yeah, they should not have done that. There was only
one more big spoiler, and that is that Iron Man gets the thing taken out of his chest, which I didn't really like.
Okay. Wait, let me say one more thing. Another thing that was really stupid was that Tony Stark gave a terrorist his home address.
Yeah.
Did he actually? I don't remember that bit.
Remember that? Like, he was on the phone or whatever saying,
like,
he was not afraid. I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows where he lived. I don't think it would be very hard to find that house, to be honest. Just look on the coast of wherever he's from, and then you'll probably find his house because it is.
It was still a kind of cliche thing to do.
Didn't you think there were more explosions in this film than the other two combined?
Well,
yeah.
There were
it kind of felt like a Michael Bay film.
Yeah, it did. There was like nothing going on for the first 10 minutes, and then his house gets blown up. And
it was a Michael Bay movie with substance.
Yeah. Michael Bay movies are okay.
No,
shut up! Transformers is awesome.
Transformers is terrible, actually.
It belongs.
Okay, can you stop mocking and raping my childhood, please? Let's just move on.
And you shouldn't be kind enough to even put it in a recycle bin.
Yeah, it should just be like
whatever. Let's just move on before I kill you both if I need you in the future.
It needs to go in a toilet.
I say shut up. Okay, let's just move on with the other spoiler from Iron Man 3, which he gets the thing taken out of his chest and he's not Iron Man anymore. There we go.
That was a really stupid thing to do because he was a hero.
Yeah,
like he's just given up on that.
How? How has he given up on that?
If like he had that thing in him for what 5 years, and he just gets taken out in like the space of 30 seconds. Don't you think he would have wanted to take it out? Because like
how do you
at
mean?
the end of Iron Man 3, he gets the thing taken out of his chest. In like the first film, do you think he just wants to be a hero because it's cool, or do you think he actually thought of getting it out of his chest?
There was too much shrapnel in it to do like the operation or something.
Yeah, but how did they do it at the end of Iron Man 3?
Because he's had 5 years and that thing inside him is just kind of helping him live. But I don't think that doesn't make him Iron Man anymore, because look at War Machine or I'm Patriot. He doesn't have a thing in his chest.
Yeah. I suppose.
But it was
I hope he joins the Avengers, actually. I hope. Because if he joins the Avengers, then they can actually, like, take Iron Man out of it.
In some of the comic books, when Tony became an alcoholic, Rhodey had to be Iron Man for a while, so... And he was actually in the Avengers for a short while. It
doesn't really look like they'd do that though, because it looks like War Machine kind of isn't really his sidekick, and more like he just kind of works for the government. So I don't know.
I still really, really liked the film. I just couldn't get past the Mandarin.
Well, we could guys rate it. I'll give it a 4.
I'd give it a 4, but I think that's being
3.5.
4.5.
3.5.
Really enjoyed this movie.
I think I was a bit too lenient though with it. I wish I wasn't, because you know what they did with one of the most iconic Iron Man villains, or one of the most iconic Marvel villains, was just
I'm not even a
really
big fan of the
disgusting.
Mandarin.
Right, I just got one question. What the hell was that weird power that everyone seemed to have? That red thing where?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah. How did that even come about?
Did they go in the machine and they get given it?
Oh, so it is literally just like one of them stupid, just like, and he's got gamma radiation, so he's the Hulk.
Yeah, sort of.
Oh god,
Yeah.
no. Oh, right. I didn't really understand that. I was like, what is going on? I wasn't really paying
worked for the Hulk.
Anyway.
Because the Hulk is freaking awesome.
Yeah, but the Hulk's more of a problem than
anyway,
he's a solution.
let's move on to our next segment of the podcast, because we've done our reviews.
Alright. Yeah. Has everyone scored Iron Man 3?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go on to The Dark Knight Rises and why
you don't need to rewatch it.
You need to rewatch it because it's terrible.
It's not terrible, it's just, I found it a bit boring, because, like, it takes itself way too seriously.
I think that's what I like most about it, because Christopher Nolan always has, like, a really dark tone to his films, like most of them, and I think that's what you got to really expect going into a Christopher Nolan film, is a kind of dark-ish tone, but still have, especially when you look into a Batman movie of his, you gotta have like a serious tone, but you've got to also be prepared to have a bit of fun.
Yeah, but I think the problem was that they took in the writing of it, they took on such a long time scale that timeline. It seemed a bit stupid. Like it went on for ages, but the film seemed kind of rushed at the same time.
Yeah, maybe if they actually waited like the 7 or 9 years or however it was, and then they did the film, then I think it kind of actually work. But now they've done it into the future.
I've only seen this movie. I've seen this movie 3 times. Once in cinema, 2 on DVD, and I just don't really like it much. I think it is a really awesome movie, but it takes itself way too seriously for my liking.
No, but did I don't think Dark Knight or Batman Begins took themselves.
What's that?
Batman Begins or The Dark Knight took themselves into a lot of a fun mood. But see, in The Dark Knight you
have the Joker who has the pencil trick, and that makes you laugh.
Yeah, there are funny scenes in it, but I think The Dark Knight is actually just an all-round, just an amazing film, whereas
it's groundbreaking.
The Dark Knight Rises lacked some substance. I thought there were so many things that happened, and I was just like, oh my god, that was the most disgraceful thing I've ever seen. Stuff just doesn't make sense in it.
We can talk spoilers if you want.
All right, okay, right. I'll start off then. You know when Catwoman shoots down that wall of cars? I know what you're gonna say. And you know, it's like, yeah, right. She also shoots Bane. How does he not get just obliterated into otherwise, 10 million pieces?
Because it would be a 15, cars? Not a 12.
Yeah, I know, but there's realism, and it just didn't do that. It was stupid. And what about that thing with Joseph Gordon-Levitt at the end? That was stupid. I
liked him in the movie.
Why call him Robin?
I liked his performance, but his script was a bit out of date. To be honest.
I did not.
It's like they worked on this movie for, they wrote the script like 5 years ago, and then Christopher Nolan changed it during filming. I think a lot of that went on because there were some things I would have liked, but they were kind of missing.
Yeah, but what really actually kind of pissed me off was the whole thing with the Joker, and it's like the Joker was such a massive part about the Dark Knight, and obviously out of respect they don't want to mention him because of obviously Heath Ledger passing, but I still think he's still a massive plot point. Like he was a massive part about The Dark Knight.
I think it was very, very kind of them not to mention the Joker.
The Joker's a
I
everybody...
don't
character.
really think
The
it
Joker's
matters
a
if they mention
character.
him or not, because it's like loads of different actors that were playing him during The Dark Knight, so I don't really think it matters. There's like 5 different actors.
I think, out of respect, I think they did the right choice. But for
it's not really respectful
audience,
when they just go like, "Oh right, okay, we won't mention the Joker, but we'll have Scarecrow do 2 cameos in the film."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
In The Dark Knight, I wanted to see Harley Quinn, but yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Harley.
Do you reckon you could have taken Harley Quinn seriously in an actual film though? Because in comics and animation, it's one thing, but she kind of doesn't. But she kind of dresses a bit weird, and I can't imagine her doing that in a film like The Dark Knight.
It's kind of a Christopher Nolan
but I would have liked to see Harley Quinn in it because, like, she had that little bit more comedy that would have been, which was added onto the Joker to make it a really, really awesome film with that little bit of comedy.
She could have teamed up with Bane, but I don't think that would have worked. Like, it could have been, what's her name? Bane's sister or whatever she was.
What, Talia al Ghul?
Yeah. Like, it could have done that if you decided that it could work.
I don't really like the whole Talia al Ghul thing. I think the actual thing with the whole with Ra's al Ghul it was just another storyline that just kind of like got in the way a bit. I didn't really think it was like very important.
It just made the movie longer, and I think that's what it was aiming for. A long cinematic experience. But they got the long bit right. The experience, they might have needed to work on a bit.
Before we stop talking about The Dark Knight Rises, I just want to hear everyone's opinion on the ending. What was
Inception?
Your thoughts
I didn't get it. Like,
no,
what did they want to do? Did they want to shut him off, or did they want to open him up?
Christian Bale says he might come back for another Batman film though, so yeah.
He must be alive then.
Well, you see him at the end, but is that can't be someone's dream, can it? Because
the viewers to decide.
Unless he does come back, in which it isn't up to you, it's actually up to the filmmaker. Because
I hope it's up to us, because Inception kind of had that kind of ending where you get to pick, and I like that. But I think it's a director's job and the screenwriter's job to actually make a proper ending.
Yeah.
Especially for something this big. Like, this is a big thing, guys. And I think I'm kind of disappointed with Christopher Nolan with it, but I still.
Actually, he just did the same thing twice, didn't he? He did what he did with Inception, and that
worked. And then he thought maybe I could work.
He actually did the exact same thing with the film called The Prestige.
Yeah, I love that movie.
That's actually a really good film, but he kind of did that at the end of that, and I thought. Yeah. That actually had a really good ending, but it was a bit like, so it was a similar kind of thing.
I love The Prestige.
Yeah, next podcast I think we should review it. Because
that's a great.
Yeah, you just watch it on the internet or something. It's amazing. Like, you'll be blown away.
Because we've been talking about Dark Knight Rises for quite a long time, so.
No, I want to keep talking about it because. What they did...
Shall we rate it?
Yeah, we'll just rate it because, that will express a bit of our feelings. I gave it a 5 out of 5 on my first watch, but maybe on a second watch...
I'm going to give it a 4.
Maybe a 4, to be honest.
Because I did enjoy it. I just thought it took itself way too seriously.
It's still my third favourite movie of last year, but just...
It wasn't even on my top 10. I didn't even enjoy it that much. I'd probably go for like 2.5.
That's understandable.
Oh, that's a bit low.
Because
it's understandable, but it's a bit too harsh. But it's that if that's your opinion, I suppose.
And my opinion goes. So, have we got anything else to review now, or are we moving on?
No, we're going to move on to our box office predictions after this.
Ah.
So just a reminder that The Great Gatsby, people.
I'm not looking forward to that film at
Did you
all.
see
That film is going to be
Jeremy's review of
terrible.
it? He says
No.
it's a good time, but you're not gonna remember it in T-2 days. That's what he gave it.
Oh.
It's my most anticipated movie of the
You
year.
get trapped on your dreams.
But why? Why?
Because I've read the novel. I like Baz Luhrmann. I love Moulin Rouge or whatever.
It has
he did
Tobey
a good job
Maguire in it.
with the 2.5 of the Spider-Man movies.
Right,
No,
okay.
he was
No,
whiny.
he didn't. No, he didn't. The
He was
Spider-Man
whiny.
films did well for him. Honestly, he did terrible in them films because did you actually see him? All he was doing was crying. He was just crying in them
but
films.
I did enjoy
And he was just
Spider-Man 1.
annoying. And then he turns into an emo when he's dancing, and then he's like, Spider-Man 1's okay, but he does a lot of unnecessary shouting. Like, he just goes like, ah! And it's like, no, you don't need to do
that. Was really funny.
I do not like, I like the Spider-Man films, I just don't like Tobey Maguire in them. That's why I think I quite liked.
Tobey Maguire's a big part of it, so basically you're saying it's kind of a letdown because of Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. The
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. The films aren't good
Alright.
because of Tobey Maguire.
No, they're good films.
Let's
I
do
just
the
thought
prediction.
he needed to do a better job. I mean, this is Spider-Man we're talking about. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to say it's a close one because I'm going to say Iron Man 3 at 1, obviously. But I'm going to go The Great Gatsby at 2. I'm going to go Peoples at 3. I'm going to go...
What about Star Trek Into Darkness?
That's not out yet in America.
Oh,
I'm
right,
going to go... I think I'm going to go... Oh, my God, this is a hard one.
Pain and Gain, yeah.
And my 5th one will be Oblivion.
Oh, Jesus.
Alright, Josh, you can go next.
Iron Man 3. Number 2, I've got Oblivion. 3, Pain and Gain. 4, 42. And 5, The Great Gatsby.
I'll
Low for Gatsby.
I'll go for, well, obviously one would be Iron Man 3.
Yeah,
And
obviously.
then I'll probably I'll go for Great Gatsby at 2, and then 42, and then Pain and Gain.
Just remember there's Tyler Perry movie out.
Yeah, wait.
He makes a lot.
Then I had another one, like, wait, I actually had it before. I had it on like a bit of a little Word document thing. Wait, I'll just get it.
Okay.
You guys can just talk for a bit. I'll just get it up now.
Alright. I think this could work.
I don't even want to watch
Like The
it.
Great Gatsby. But what I've heard...
No, I don't want to watch it. I don't even think it looks that good.
What I've heard what I've heard is that it
It doesn't
takes
even look
a
interesting.
style over
though.
substance.
The trailer just looks
Which could be
crap.
good.
Alright, should I just shoot through mine again then?
Because
Alright, okay,
you haven't read the novel. But anyway.
At 1, I've got Iron Man 3. Then 2, The Great Gatsby. 3, I'll go for 42. 4, The Place Beyond the Pines.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
And 5, Olympus Has Fallen.
Alright. That's kind of great. Anyway, why don't we move on to trailer... Oh wait, we'll do your news segment.
Yes, okay. Shall we do it where I just shoot through a load of news and then you just say what you think about it after, or should I just mention the story and talk about it?
You say one news and then we'll talk about it.
Start with the biggest news that I told you on Facebook.
Yep. Alright, okay, well, Avengers, there's a lot of Avengers news, a lot to do with recasts and casting, like, errors and stuff. Scarlett Johansson and Chris Hemsworth both have said that they want pay rises, and so that they might not even be coming back for Avengers 2.
Chris Hemsworth.
Who was that? Scarlett Johansson and who?
Chris Hemsworth. So,
Chris
so Thor. What do you think about that?
I think
Bear in mind this, right?
Because they weren't even a big part of the first Avengers, and for them to say that, I think that's a bit unnecessary.
Yeah,
and Jeremy Renner isn't even asking for a pay rise.
No. Yeah, but Jeremy Renner has virtually nothing to do with it. Like, he's just kind of there. I'm surprised. Aren't you a bit surprised that Scarlett Johansson's asked? Because surely they could just go, all right, okay, you can go then. There are a lot of female leads that they could bring in. They did recently get back Elektra, and they got Daredevil and Ghost Rider. And although I can't really imagine Ghost Rider in the Avengers, he's still like a
That'd be horrible.
That would be scary. But
I don't hate him.
Apparently, there's obviously Ant-Man's supposed to be coming into it on Avengers 3, but then Quicksilver, he's pretty much Marvel's equivalent to the Flash, and he's coming back, but he's actually a mutant. And apparently, if they want to use him in the Avengers, they can't mention any mutants, and they can't mention that he is a mutant. So, off X-Men, because they don't have the rights to it. Which is why I was a bit confused when you said about the Wolverine. Can Wolverine be in the Avengers?
It would be great to see him, but I don't think He's
not a person, but as a character,
they might set it up. They might set it up. Because, the Wolverine is coming out, and you never know.
Yeah.
I have something else to say.
Have you got anything else to say?
If you stayed to the end of the credits in Iron Man 3, you'll know that he was having a therapy session with Bruce Banner, which is probably meaning that The Incredible Hulk 2 is going to be the next Avengers Phase 2 movie.
Alright,
I'm not going to watch
interesting. I don't think they will do that.
I thought it sets up I thought it set it up Guardians of the Galaxy a bit. Just a tad bit, not over the top. It could have set it up.
Couldn't the Mandarin have something to do with Guardians of the Galaxy though if they did it right?
Iron Man does.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They didn't really have any tie-ins with Guardians of the Galaxy when they could have.
No, but Ben Kingsley isn't Mandarin, so I don't think it was what's his name? What's his name's Mandarin?
Yeah.
Guy Pearce is Mandarin.
Yeah. Should we move on to a little bit more?
Yeah, but I don't think he's actually saying he is the Mandarin. I think if you're looking for the guy who did all of this, and he's calling himself...
It's Ben Kingsley. He's the mastermind behind the Mandarin. Pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay, I've got a bit of news. Wait. Well, Men in Black 4 is actually going to happen.
Boo.
That is interesting because Men in Black 3 was kind of not that good, but...
I didn't hate Men in Black 3, it just wasn't funny or even futuristic or alienized or whatever.
Does anyone want to hear a funny bit of news, though?
Alright.
Die Hard 6 is going to be called Die Hardest.
Ew. Why are they making a Die Hard movie?
After Die Hard 5, I do not know.
It comes out 2015.
Is it going to be the last one? Are they going to kill off Bruce Willis? Well, his career's already killed, so it won't really give any. For Die Hard.
No.
For Die Hard.
His career's not killed.
Yeah, I mean for Die Hard.
Looper was great. And
yeah, but was Bruce Willis really the good part about Looper?
No.
I thought the story was the best bit. I didn't think most of the characters really did anything about that boy.
I thought Joseph Gordon-Levitt was the best out of the acting.
Yeah.
Or Emily Blunt.
Yeah, the kid
what about that kid who was
he's a pretty good actor. I'm going to give him that.
Yeah, but I liked him in Red as well. I liked Red.
I've got a bit more news here. The 300 sequel moves to next spring, which I don't know if that means like filming
are they making another 300?
Release date. Well, apparently the second 300 film it's going to be based at the exact same time, and all the events are
That
going to
was
be the same.
supposed to be coming out this year.
Yeah, but from a different perspective. So like, as in like, you see it from one perspective, and like,
we're seeing it from
one side, and then you see it from the other side of the battle.
I saw a bit of 300
kind of
on
interesting.
TV the other night. My first reaction was, what the hell is this? I mean, like, it doesn't even look realistic. Like, you see, like, someone's head just get chopped off, and, like, their body is just standing there, and it just falls over.
I like 300, but, do you reckon they might be pushing it back for 3D, maybe?
I don't know. I think they're just pushing it back because they probably made some errors. I can't imagine them doing anything. Because
G.I. Joe, everybody said, "Oh, we need to do something," but they were actually adding 3D.
Yeah, no, what, G.I. Joe 2?
Yeah.
In G.I. Joe 2, what they did was they made the film, and then what the character what's his name? Channing Tatum's character died off too early, so they wanted him to be, because he died off in the first scene apparently in the original cut of G.I. Joe 2. So what they decided to do was actually write him into it a bit more and then kind of change the story.
He was advertised as one of the main characters, and I think females, if you get what I mean, will be kind of disappointed.
But I'll move on to a little bit more news. Do any of you know a character in the Avengers called Scarlet Witch?
Yeah.
No.
Well, did you watch The Host?
Yep.
Well, the lead in that is supposed to be playing Scarlet Witch in the Avengers 2.
All right, that
could say that Black Widow won't be in it. Put in a new
female.
No. They should just have like a big fight.
I want to see Black Widow in it though.
No, but
We'll give her like her own movie.
What, Black Widow?
I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Kind of like a superhero spy movie, kind of.
She's badass. She's badass, and if they don't,
that would be weird though, because she isn't really the kind of character who gets their own film, like a superhero film, because she's not a superhero in any way. She's more like just like martial arts and like
exactly.
Spy.
That would have
which could be okay, but the After Earth sequel is already in the works. How do they know that it's going to do well?
I don't want that, because I'm not even anticipating After Earth, because I loved Oblivion, and I think this is just kind of ripping off. I don't want to say that because like they were made during the same time, but I'm not ready to see another sci-fi like Oblivion just a month after it come out. And I don't like that Jaden Smith and Will Smith are working together, because I'm not a big fan of Jaden or Will.
No, I'm a fan of Will Smith. I just do not like Jaden Smith at all. That Karate Kid film was awful.
And it actually says that he's learning.
He's so snobby in his performance.
Yay!
All right, I've got a bit more Marvel news. Marvel's made scripts for Blade reboot.
Awesome.
So like the guy like hunts vampires and stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Miss Marvel.
A what? Oh, Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel.
Yeah, as in like Ms. Marvel.
Why aren't they doing Mr. Marvel?
In DC there is. There's
is there a Mr. Marvel?
Like, Mr.
I thought it was Captain Marvel or something.
Well, there's like a Marvel man or something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was Captain. It was Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but
why don't they do him? Like, I don't mean to be sexist. But
no, but I think that's what they're trying to avoid, because they don't have a lot of female characters, and I think if Black Widow does go, then they're going to try and bring some new ones in, because
like I don't mean to be sexist.
They were saying they were gonna recast for the Avengers.
Yeah.
Seems more like they're just gonna get some new characters in instead of getting a new actor in, because they can't really do that.
let's be honest. Female superhero movies don't make money.
No.
Elektra barely made anything.
No. Catwoman was terrible.
That made nothing, I don't think. Didn't even make its budget. See, but I don't mean that in any sexist way. Like, since Black Widow was in the Avengers, it could work. But
that's true.
I think, they might need a little bit of support behind them. Like, support behind a female superhero movie, like a lot of advertising. I'm not being sexist here. I don't want to be sexist. But I think it's... And Elektra wasn't even that good.
All right, well, okay, got a little bit more news. I'll just shoot through, like, a couple of them. Tom Cruise is back for Mission Impossible 5. And,
yes. That's good news.
Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is happening. Jurassic Park 4 is on hold. And 21 Jump Street 2 is within, like, next 2 years.
Isn't that coming out next year?
Yeah.
I thought that was scheduled for this next year.
Yeah, it's switched places with Jurassic Park 4. So, because Jurassic Park 4 was supposed to be coming out later, like early next year, but I think it's been pushed back.
I don't even think it's going to be made. Honestly,
I want to see 21 Jump Street 2.
It could be. It'd be pretty cool if it was.
I thought it was awesome.
Oh. Yeah,
I'd rather see another Jurassic Park movie. Wait, it actually is possible because they just re-released Jurassic Park in 3D.
Yeah. But
so,
it looks like what do you call it? Wolverine will have a cameo in the next the Days of Future Past film, X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. That's good. That's awesome.
Yeah. Apparently there's going to be a surprise cameo in that film as well as in the Wolverine. There could be a couple of people coming to
that'd
that.
Be good.
So
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Have you got any more news?
Hey, so pretty much
that's pretty much it.
Hey, is there any
what
news for Shaun of the Dead 2?
There isn't a Shaun of the Dead 2.
Well, it was in the works like
Shaun of the Dead. There was The World's End.
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost don't make sequels to their films.
The World's End. No.
What do you think of The World's End?
The World's End looks like it could be quite funny, but it looks a bit different to what Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz were. So
I probably won't.
I don't really know if I'm gonna enjoy it that much.
And apparently, it's like the Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg and
the Cornetto trilogy.
Last movie.
Yeah, it's the Cornetto trilogy. Because they always like mention Cornettos, don't they, in it?
And Edgar Wright is.
Are you saying that it's going to be their last film together?
So I guess that's cool.
Oh, thank God! You almost gave me a heart attack.
No, not Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Simon Pegg.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Edgar Wright.
I'm good.
Or Edgar Wright, even. So the director. But
I really like that director. I mean, I loved Scott Pilgrim
vs. the World. Yeah, it's a funny film.
I don't think
that's actually probably one of my favourite films.
But I still thought it was
Hot
good.
Fuzz is great.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead is really funny. So yeah.
What we're moving on to now? What's the next segment?
The next segment is trailer reviews. We're gonna review the Wolverine Comic-Con trailer, Red 2 trailer.
Okay.
Could we take a break so I can have a look at them?
See you guys in a second.
Alright. Let's take a break. Yay!
Welcome back to the podcast. The break felt like half a second to you guys, but it's actually been like half an hour for us.
How many times have you said that?
Yeah, you say it every single time we do it.
It's kind of true though.
We say we're going to break.
I'm actually kind of getting bored of you.
Yeah,
maybe maybe you need a replacement.
Mm.
Please,
Yeah.
I'm only
please
joking.
don't replace me. I don't want to be.
I
I
know
don't want to be
there's
fired.
I know there's a boy named Connor who would appreciate your spot.
Are you seriously gonna do that?
Of course not. You think I'm a lunatic? Anyway,
baby.
how
Let's just move on. Let's just move on.
how rude of you.
Let's just move on. Come on.
Right, the Wolverine Comic-Con trailer. One of my favorite
It was
trailers of the year so
action
far.
packed.
Yeah.
It was pretty. It was pure. It wasn't it CinemaCon? It wasn't
Yeah.
Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah, CinemaCon.
Yeah. It was a pretty like badass trailer, but it kind of it didn't tell you anything. Like the first trailer like told you a lot of stuff, whereas there wasn't a lot of like it was just kind of like showing you random clips, and I think it was quite cool. But
Yeah.
what was the point of just advertisement?
I really liked the trailer.
I thought it was alright.
It didn't really do anything else.
Alright, how many
seemed a bit
trailers?
Three
4.
trailers.
3.5 actually. Yeah, 3.5.
I'm gonna give it three trailers.
I might give it a 3.5 because it looked very nice.
Yeah. I will admit the trailer did look cool.
It was a very nice looking trailer.
Yeah.
The editing I thought was quite good on it.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to the next trailer, which is.
Right, actually, can we not have a little can we not speak about the Wolverine for a bit?
If you really want.
Do you not think that the Wolverine's a bit overused now?
Probably.
Because think about it, like X-Men 1, 2, and 3 are all about the Wolverine, and then it's
Origins.
like X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then there's the Wolverine, and then he kind of turns up in other Wolverine films as well. I mean other X-Men films as well.
You have someone like him.
I kind of get bored of them.
I think they're just trying to use his story properly, and I don't think they're really doing that.
Oh, I just prefer him in the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I.
To be honest, Hugh Jackman does look a lot like him.
Yeah.
From the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have got to admit that. But should we move on to the next trailer? Because.
Yeah.
Red 2.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite looking forward to Red 2 now. I thought the trailer was quite good for it.
I haven't even seen the first Red, but I do want to see.
It's actually a comic book series.
Is it?
Yeah, retired and extremely dangerous.
Cool.
I quite like the first one. It's kind of just like a feel good kind of thing. It's just like action.
It's really charming.
Yeah, it's just like a nice film. There's nothing like really bad about it, but there's nothing
so amazing.
Like, yeah, it's not very memorable, but it is quite a good film.
Cool.
Yeah. The worst thing about it was really nothing.
Like everything, like there was nothing like that stood out as being bad about it. So I just say the whole film it was just made nicely. Like, yeah, pretty much. There's not really much else to say apart from it's just an all around quite a good film.
Cool.
Yeah. So what did you think of this trailer?
I'm gonna give it a 3.5 trailer.
No, what did you think of it?
I give it 4.
Alright, think of it. I thought it was quite good. Didn't really let us know too much about what's gonna be in the film. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent trailer.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 trailer. I thought it was quite interesting trailer. I would like to see another trailer explaining a little bit more, but it's a good trailer overall.
You can always watch the film to do that instead of just looking at the trailer to find out what the film's going to be about.
Or just read up what it's about.
Yeah, I suppose like trailers aren't really supposed to give away everything. So,
but it's supposed
it is good that it leaves you asking questions, I suppose.
Yeah. But it's got to leave us enough that, like, it can make us fill up the cinema seats.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. How about we move on to White House Down?
Yeah, you can talk about this because the trailer just bored me, so I started watching after about a minute.
I didn't even want to watch this trailer, so I didn't bother. I watched like the first.
Is Channing Tatum supposed to be someone's dad?
What do you mean?
Is he supposed to be someone's dad in it? Because he says something at the start, just like, here's a present from your dad or something like that. And I thought he was talking to his daughter. I was like, he is a bit young to be a dad.
Yeah, well, he is like 27 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like Channing Tatum.
Really?
I do.
I liked him in
I quite
21
like him.
Jump Street.
Yeah, that's
probably the only thing I've really
to
liked
be honest,
him in.
after watching 21 Jump Street, I've just started liking him in everything else.
I like Jonah Hill as well, but...
Yeah, Jonah.
Everybody, Jonah Hill's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's a funny guy.
But this trailer was so boring. It didn't do anything for me. I'm gonna give it a 1 trailer.
If I'm allowed, I'm going to give it a half.
It wasn't that bad. It was okay. I just got a bit bored by it. Yeah, probably about like a 2 or something.
It looks like something you've seen before.
You know I said that
well,
I
isn't
didn't
it just
watch
the same
it.
as Olympus Has Fallen?
You know I said I didn't watch it. I actually remember watching the first like minute of it or whatever. Like first like half a minute or whatever. I just got extremely bored.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's our trailer reviews for this week in the Nostalgia Film Podcast. How about we move on to Man of Steel versus Iron Man 3?
This is an easy thing. This is easy pick.
Well, is it actually? Because Man of Steel isn't out yet.
Yeah, but it's Christopher Nolan. It's going to be really, really, really serious.
But it isn't Christopher Nolan, is it? It's produced by him.
But
it's Zack Snyder. This guy made 300. And Watchmen. Watchmen was a good film.
I need to see that.
That was actually really good.
I need to see that.
And he made a sick ass owl movie, like
what?
A sick ass owl movie. I love that owl movie.
What was that something
Legend of the Guardians.
Yeah, something about the Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good animation, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was Zack Snyder. So he's done a lot of good stuff.
I think.
But then again, he hasn't.
There was a bit of news saying that it wasn't actually going to be like a serious Christopher Nolan type film. It was actually more Zack Snyder. So it'll have a bit more comedy in it.
Oh, that's going to be good.
But then he has done Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch wasn't a good film.
It was horrible. It was a mess.
Terrible. But I think Sucker Punch was more for visuals, and it did actually do that quite well. I thought it was quite clever, but it didn't really work. It was kind of just confusing. It was like, why is she just dancing around? And it's just kind of messed up. But
it was a beautiful movie. I'm going to give it that.
What, Sucker Punch?
Yeah.
It was made quite well, I think, but it was a bit average.
Like the visuals were beautiful. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but like the script and the actual storyline were really bad. Like it was just. But I don't think that's all his fault. I think he just.
I think I liked the first half an hour. I was really getting into it.
I think the concept's better than the actual film. Like, it sounds better if you spoke about it than it did if you actually saw it.
I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with Iron Man 3 because I've never been a big fan of Superman in any way, shape or form. And I guess I grew up with Iron Man, and Iron Man is like my favourite superhero, so I'm just going to go with that.
Well, I'm not very sure with this one. This is a really hard pick for me because I grew up with both.
I don't really know because I don't really like Superman that much, but I think after Man of Steel I might. So
no, I don't. I'm not very overly fussed over Man of Steel, but I wasn't overly fussed over Iron Man 3 either. So I'm really in a bad situation right now, having to pick. Like if I hadn't seen Iron Man 3 and Man of Steel had just been released, I haven't seen any of them. And I could only see one movie. I'm not sure what I would pick.
I'd pick Iron Man.
To be honest, Iron Man 3 wasn't actually that good. Like it was a good film, but it just got ruined. Like the little plot points that just kind of made it a little bit worse than it was.
Can we just pretend we haven't seen Iron Man 3 just for 1 minute?
Okay.
Why don't we pretend we haven't seen Kick-Ass 2 or something and do that?
No. You haven't seen Man of Steel or Iron Man 3. And Man of Steel and Iron Man 3 were released on the same day. Which one would you go see?
Definitely Iron Man 3 because I don't like Superman. Simple.
You've already said it. I'm asking James.
Man of Steel.
Really?
Well, I've been anticipating Man of Steel for about 2 years. I remember like the first video I did with Luke on like doing reviews and stuff. That was like the first bit of news we ever even spoke about, and we've been looking forward to it since then. Really, so.
I'm not sure, guys. I cannot pick. I will.
Are you gonna phone a friend?
No. I'm gonna go.
Friend with Benefits Helpline.
I actually bought that on
I know. I saw your video.
Friends with Benefits. That isn't that's okay actually. It's an okay
movie.
Yeah.
I liked Mila Kunis. Because she's hot. Like, you can't go wrong with Mila. Except for Oz the Great and Powerful. Like, they just ruined that ass.
No, she did very badly in that, to be fair.
They just ruined that ass. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Man of Steel. That was a really hard pick. Because I'm a big Superman fan, and I'm also don't get me wrong, I'm also a big Iron Man fan. I love all the Superman films. Well, most of them.
The reason I would rather watch Man of Steel is because if Man of Steel's good, think about what it can do. But think if Iron Man 3 is good, what does that really achieve for the Avengers? Like, it doesn't really do anything else apart from.
But I don't think Iron Man 3 was really necessary because, like, the Avengers was.
The Avengers was the sequel to Iron Man 2.
Yeah, but Iron Man 3 kind of wraps up Tony Stark's story, kinda.
Well, it doesn't because it still leaves quite a lot of questions unanswered. Like, so where does he go from here? And it's like, he will end up making another suit or something. I think. I can't. What was the point of him blowing them up at the end?
He doesn't want to be Iron Man anymore. Just blow them up.
Yeah, but couldn't he have just put them in the bin or something? He didn't need to like blow the crap out of them. He could have just like put them somewhere for safekeeping in his like mansion. Well, or what's left of his mansion, which is kind of nothing. But
yeah, I would pick Man of Steel.
What was the point? That was just like burning money, wasn't it?
Because I've seen the recent trailer for it, and it has a bit more of a fun tone to it than the other trailers. But yeah, I would pick Man of Steel because Iron Man 3. When you think about it, it wasn't even necessary.
Yeah, but think about how Man of Steel could be so relevant for the Justice League, and if this is a good film, then the Justice League could actually potentially happen. So,
but what if this is bad?
Well, then
Justice League is gone.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean that's the reason I'd want to watch it, because if it is good, then you have a chance of it actually creating something. But
everybody's gonna watch it because it's Superman. It's a superhero movie. Like, everybody flocks to see them. They run just to see these films.
Yeah. Should we move on?
Oh, yes, we can. What are we moving on to now?
We're going on to the Marvel cinematic phases.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically, it's already started.
Okay, right. I've got a question for all of you. What character would you like to see being used that hasn't been used yet in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Like, is that including or not including the Avengers?
No, that's like someone you might either want to join the Avengers or a standalone film that you might see.
No, like, can it count a character that was in the Avengers but doesn't have a standalone film?
No, how about
try and be more original?
That's the only superhero in the Marvel universe that I know that hasn't got a cinematic movie out or is coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, Wasp is like one of the original Avengers.
She
Same
would
with
probably
Ant-Man.
be in the Ant-Man movie though, because they're like together and they have like kids and stuff.
Yeah.
How about like I'm not sure if this counts, but The Thing?
He was in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, so that doesn't count.
No, it doesn't.
I'm just trying to think. Cause,
to be honest, I'd like to see a standalone. Obviously, this can't. Well, this isn't kind of not the question I'm answering because it's already been in a film before. But I'd like to see a standalone Nightcrawler film.
Ooh.
Even obviously,
Watch-
Nightcrawler from
right,
X-Men.
yeah. Alright, yeah.
I thought it was from Watchmen for some reason.
No, but Nightcrawler is actually awesome, and I think it's kind of interesting his actual story arc because he's actually Mystique's son in the comics.
I would like to see the Submariner.
Submariner.
I do not know what that
don't
is.
you mean? Yeah, he was in the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends series along with that series is crap though. It's just...
I like that series.
Are we going to speak at all about Spider-Man? Because have you seen all these pictures of Electro for Jamie Foxx? They're pretty interesting.
I think Jamie Foxx would be so good for it. Like, he looks a role.
He looks really good, I think, to be fair, but I don't really know it. I can't imagine him having a massive, kind of speaking role as Electro,
in Spider-Man, I think I know how it's going to end, though. Because I think that the last villain is probably going to be the Green Goblin. Obviously, this is set on the Amazing Spider-Man comic books. Yeah.
Have you seen the suit, the new Spider-Man suit?
Gwen Stacy's gonna die.
Green Goblin kills her.
Gwen Stacy definitely will die.
Because
apparently Venom's going to be in Spider-Man 2 now as well.
They're introducing Mary Jane, and obviously Gwen Stacy is cut off
Harry Osborn
before you even.
Yeah, Harry Osborn's in the next one as well. But I think it's kind of strange because the next film, Paul Giamatti's playing Rhino. Jamie Foxx is Electro, and apparently.
Honestly, don't think that's good.
No, I don't think it's very good. I don't think Rhino should be played by Paul Giamatti. He was the bald guy in Hangover 2, who kind of went, who was like a police officer pretending to get Leslie Chow or something. But I don't think he would be a very good villain for Spider-Man, but it looks like they're taking on a lot if they want to bring in Venom as well, because unless he's at the end of the credits he turns up or something, but
it's gonna have to be like a 3-hour movie to fit all of these things in.
No,
like killing Gwen Stacy if they end up doing it.
2.5 hours is long enough.
It's gonna happen. She's gonna have to get killed off in one of these movies because in the comics, she dies.
I can't remember what happens. I think Green Goblin throws her off of a building.
Unless Mary Jane dies, unless they switch it around so Mary Jane dies instead.
Because it didn't react well with Iron Man 3, like the twist that they did for that. Like, comic book fans were really disappointed, like myself.
Yeah, but it's not like pretty much saying, but Mary Jane was the Green Goblin all along. It's not saying that, is it? It's like it's killing off a different character. I think because if you expect them to kill off Gwen Stacy, nothing would really happen if you saw that happen. Whereas I think if you killed off a different character when no one's expecting it, maybe that could be a better plot point. I think if you remember Spider-Man 3, they took on too many characters and the film wasn't very good. It was kind of like you didn't really know who the bad guy was.
I liked Spider-Man 3. I'm probably the only person who liked it.
I didn't like emo Peter Parker, but I didn't mind the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I thought the villains were they were done quite well. One thing I've noticed about Spider-Man villains is that none of them are actually bad. Like, they're all, they can't control themselves. Every single can you actually think of one that's actually
Sandman had a reason to be bad.
Carnage, because his host is a serial killer who is actually like controlling the symbiote. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but Carnage is but think about it. Carnage is just a psychopath who's just kind of turned up, whereas in like he's just he got that venom stuff, didn't he?
A different colour of the venom stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but he got that, and then he turned into an absolute psychopath. Whereas at first, like people like Dr. Kirk Connors and obviously like people, just all the bad guys really, they're all good people who just have stupid experiments that end up turning them into horrible people. So
yeah,
it's really different compared to other superheroes, because in Spider-Man a lot of it's like science, isn't it, that's gone wrong. It's all experiment.
But I'll be okay if they don't kill Gwen Stacy, because she's hot, so
and by the way,
it's a win-win situation.
Got to mention something in the news segment. They're gonna make a Scream TV series.
What?
No.
They did that with Friday the 13th.
Did they?
And Zombieland.
Zombieland's quite good.
They made a TV show of that.
Have you seen the TV series?
Awesome.
Yeah. It's actually quite good.
I want to get into The Walking Dead, but...
Yeah, I could never get into it. I tried like once, and then I just like, alright, okay, I'll try and watch them, and then I just keep forgetting. It's like a Game of Thrones. I was probably into that, and then I kind of just stopped from watching it, and then I just haven't seen it since.
Same with me and Doctor Who. I used to love it since the new Doctor came in a couple of years ago. Bugger off.
Yeah, it's just not that good anymore. Doctor Who's more of a kids' TV show now.
I used to be like obsessed with it.
I think we got distracted. We're talking about the Marvel Cinematic Phases. Then we just talked about the Amazing Spider-Man.
I don't think, in the long run, I don't think making the Avengers was actually a good idea. Or
really?
making it the way it was. Like, as in, you have like people's like you have their film, and then you go into like them all joining together, and then having their separate films, and then they all join together, and then they have their separate films again. It's like it just seems too much. It's like if you're doing that with Iron Man and like Thor and Captain America, it's just like if some of them aren't as main in the actual Avengers, then it seems like what's the point of them even being there? Like Captain America, he's had 2 films, and he was like a proper main character in the first Captain America. Then in the Avengers, he doesn't really do anything. And then in the next Captain America, if he's like proper badass again, it's just like, where's that guy in the Avengers? Like, and then with Thor seemed pointless. And no, the Thor film, I thought was pointless. I thought the first Thor film was pointless. I don't think that really did anything apart from introducing characters. But what did Thor do apart from introducing characters?
I don't know, but I just liked it.
I think Captain America first film was quite good because it kind of tied in what Tony Stark's dad had to do with Captain America, but I think that was it really. There was no need. If they just made like a couple of these films and then made like 3 Avengers films with the same characters in them, it could still work. Instead of them making more spin-off films for like their first film sequels. I don't think there's any point of making a Thor 2. I don't think there's any point of making an Iron Man 3 once you've made the Avengers.
Yeah, but they could always go to the next Avengers, which they made a short animated feature about. Where like basically Tony Stark is like
the Avengers is a trilogy now. I thought it was a bad idea to even make a sequel.
It needs to stick with one.
Why?
But don't you think we should move on? Because we've been talking about like this phases thing for quite a while. Well, we have.
No, we haven't.
We were talking about it for like 20 minutes almost.
Alright, let's talk about Phase 2. No, we were talking about the Spider-Man for like an hour, or at least it felt like
Jesus,
it.
that
An
went
hour?
that went by fast.
Thoughts on Thor: The Dark World? We'll just do really quick thoughts.
I don't think it looks that good. I don't really care for it.
Neither do I. Josh, alright. Captain America,
See,
the Winter
right.
Soldier.
That's what I was saying, because if you don't like the next Thor film, and what's the point of them making it?
Don't know.
Yeah, they should have just left Thor alone and maybe did
That's what I
Black
was
Widow
saying.
or Hawkeye.
That's what I mean. Like, what's the point of them making another film about a character that isn't even that good in the Avengers?
Captain America.
And Captain
Why
America
Captain
and
America
Iron Man.
the Winter Soldier?
Why?
Why?
Because the Winter Soldier is actually a massive plot point in Captain America.
The Winter Soldier can go. No, the Winter Soldier.
Have you read
can
the
go screw
comics?
himself.
The Winter Soldier is
Because
actually awesome.
It's only
don't
because
like
you
Captain
haven't read the
America.
comics.
Wait, did you see
Yes, I
Captain
hated
America: The First Avenger?
Yeah.
Did you know the guy who he
Yeah.
was friends with, who he was helping escape?
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
he's the Winter Soldier.
Cool.
So yeah, but I think it must have some form of time travel in it again, or someone must get frozen in time, because how is he going to turn up in modern day when he was from like the war? I don't really know how that's going to work. But
How does that work with the Avengers?
how do you mean?
Like you said, like modern day.
Well, because he was frozen
Yeah.
for about 70 years or something.
No, that's right. Guardians
Have you even seen this
of the
film?
Galaxy.
I don't care. It's got Batista in it, you know, the wrestler.
What? Why is he in it?
I don't know.
That is one of the most random things I've heard in my life.
Yeah, it kind of is to me as well, because you'd have thought they would have gone for like, I don't know, someone with actual acting talent, but you know,
This is animated,
sometimes
right?
no talent. It's not. It's kind of animated.
But does it have real life people in it?
Well, no, because they're like weird monster things, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're the Guardians.
So I'm not sure. Is it like
Yeah,
full
they're like-
animation, or is it like just CGI?
It's more CGI, but everything's CGI instead of actual animated. It's supposed to look real. Do you remember that Beowulf film?
Oh, I hated that.
Yeah, apparently the CGI is supposed to be a little bit like that.
Yuck.
Joe's reaction. Yuck.
Yeah, I don't like
I
that
just
film.
tasted bad ice cream and now he feels epic.
And then finally, the Avengers 2 wasn't necessary. Why? But I suppose
no,
just
actually, the Avengers 2 could be good if they bring in some good characters. I want to see some proper like.
They're gonna need
like,
the 3-hour movie just to fit all these characters
2
in.
hours
Give them
is
a
long
good
enough.
subplot.
Why 3 hours? 2.5 then.
No, it isn't. Because
Yeah,
this is important.
it was long enough for the other one.
Comic.
Think about it. You don't need to introduce
Stuff is
everyone to the
important.
Avengers again, do you?
Alright, anyway, I think let's move on to Justice League or the Avengers 2.
Justice
What would
League
you guys
because
rather
it's
see?
original and I don't really want to see another Avengers 2 because there's only going to be superheroes that I don't give 2 craps about in it. So
I don't want to see neither, but I'm gonna have to make up my mind. So, James, you go.
What's this? Sorry, I just kind of zoned out slightly then.
Would you rather see Justice League or the Avengers 2?
Avengers 2.
Right, and why?
Because I don't really care about Justice League.
neither do I, but I don't want to see the Justice League has Batman in it.
No, but think about how awesome the Avengers 2 could be if they brought in Quicksilver and all these new characters like.
But you're the one
Ant-Man
who
and
says
the Wasp.
you're the one who says half of the characters were a waste of time.
Yeah, because people only because Iron Man did everything. If Iron Man wasn't in it, imagine how much more involved the other characters would have been.
True, you got me there.
I think Iron Man did that's what made it more of an Iron Man film, because it literally was just like he was flying about taking care of everything. It was, well, apart from just hitting people with his shield, what did Captain America really do?
He nearly died in the
Really?
Avengers.
I didn't.
But who knew? Who knew? Because
No.
he just
He
didn't
could
really
have
have any part
died
in
and
it.
had like his face ripped off, and I would have been like, "Who the hell's that?"
Yeah, well, no, I probably wouldn't have noticed, but
They should have killed someone in the Avengers.
If you
just
see
for an emotional
the Ultimate
reflection, 'cause I
Avengers
don't
2
think
animated movie, Ant-Man / Giant Man, if he shrinks one more time, his like, I think I've mentioned this before, but like his insides, yeah, so
yeah, you have. I've heard you. Yeah, he says like
yes,
his insides like
no,
explode or something
well,
stupid, and he dies as a
he
kid or something like that, isn't it?
Well, Wasp's pregnant.
Yeah.
So.
Doesn't he impregnate someone at the same time or something though?
Wasp is already pregnant when he dies. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's finish this off. Josh, what would you rather see, Justice League or the Avengers 2?
Because it's new, and there's been no Justice League movie. I like the Justice League cartoon, but I don't. Yeah.
Are you actually looking forward to the Justice League? Because I'd say I'm more dreading it. Like I can't really imagine how they're going to make this look good.
But if I had to choose, I would say Justice League just because it's different.
I didn't say any of them.
Oh, have you done it yet?
No, I'm quite scared. Because I think I'm going to go Avengers 2, because I think Justice League was only made for the sake of actually terrifying Marvel, so that Avengers 2 would come out a bit quicker. But that's where it could go wrong. The Avengers 2 could be a little rushed. Because Justice League could be seen. Yeah, Justice League could be seen as a threat to Marvel.
No, it can't.
But Avengers 2 could also be a threat. Have them both
in one film, like Batman holding a gun to like Hawkeye's face, and be like, if you rush Avengers 2 in 1 week, we won't blow his face off.
Yeah, I just don't think they'll like rush it, because I think that they already know what they're doing for Avengers 2. I think they've got everything set out anyway. They have good people in charge of it, whereas Justice League seems kind of jumbled. Like you hear new stories each week about who's going to direct it. I don't really think it's going to be very good. I think it's going to be a bit of a mess, to be honest. If they're
trying to get it out by 2015, which is highly impossible at this stage.
Yeah. Especially with,
I don't even think they've what characters they want in the Justice League yet.
Well, they want to make a Man of Steel trilogy. Man of Steel looks like it could be the Iron Man for them.
But
like, do you know what I mean? Like they could start it off with Man of Steel and Man of Steel 2, and then go on to like Batman and the Flash and stuff.
There was a 5-year wait for the Avengers, so that means we might not get Justice League.
Yeah, unless they just don't have an Iron Man. If they don't have a Man of Steel sequel before Justice League,
I reckon they should make one film for each superhero. See how they do at the box office.
Well, they didn't for Marvel. They didn't do Hawkeye or Black Widow for Marvel.
Yeah, but I kind of want to see a Flash movie and just.
I think they should do Flash, Man of Steel, which they are doing.
Green Lantern.
Who else? No, they've already done Green Lantern. I wouldn't want to see another Green Lantern.
So what they're going to do for the Justice League then? Do you not think that the Avengers that they chose were kind of good, because they're not all like the proper superheroes, whereas in the Justice League, it's like, okay, we've got the Flash who's extra quick, and we've got Green Lantern, who's practically Superman with rings on, and then we got Superman, who's just good at everything. They've got Wonder Woman, who's the equivalent of Superman, and then we got Batman, who has a lot of money. And then that's like it. Whereas like they have like spies and people who have just good aim with bows and arrows and stuff in the Avengers. They might need to choose a bit wisely with like who they want in the Justice League, because I'm not gonna lie, I think that a lot of the stuff that the Avengers were faced by could have been done by one of the Justice League easily. They could have done that. They could, like Superman could have just like.
But I think that's
nailed
what
them
makes.
all.
I think that's what makes the Avengers so unique and.
Yeah, because they all actually do have proper like weaknesses, don't they? Rather than, oh no, look, a bit of green kryptonite. I'm going to die.
I know what they should do. Lex Luthor should open like a burger store. When Superman comes in to get a burger, he like pretends to be his friend and just puts like kryptonite in his burger. He's like, oh.
Yeah. It says it's a pickle or
it's
something.
a shiny pickle.
It's like, oh.
But the worst thing that Justice League could do is mention characters that they're not even going to use, like what they did with Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
they mentioned
he doesn't even give
Superman.
A crap.
Yeah.
And they didn't. Like they've just mentioned. They mentioned. They've made Superman visible in this world, so that means Superman could have went and saved.
Yeah.
Like, could have killed Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy. So it's kind of
little. They were mentioning about making some new Batman films for the Justice League. Do you remember them saying that? What bad guy do you reckon they would use for that? Do you reckon they'd use people like Mr. Freeze, or do you reckon they'd have to find new ones?
Killer Croc and Scarecrow in the same movie. I'm done.
But when you think about it, Scarecrow's already been done.
He needs to be good.
It'd be compared to it too much. What's the point? Scarecrow was the best you're ever going to get it in that he was in Batman Begins. You're never get it better than that, I don't think.
Asylum movie, because Killer Croc and Scarecrow.
I'd like to see a Harley Quinn.
I want to see her
think
in a
that's
movie.
highly unlikely.
They were going to do that for Batman. Batman Triumphant was going to be the Batman and Robin sequel, and they were going to put Poison Ivy in that, and Jack Nicholson's Joker was going to come out.
Didn't he die, though?
Which is interesting. Yeah, he did die. But apparently they're going to resurrect him or something.
They should have done that instead of Batman and Robin. I think that could have worked a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I don't.
Then
think
again,
Jack Nicholson probably didn't want to do it again because Batman and Robin was such.
But Jack Nicholson's Joker, though. James, I'm pretty sure you've played Batman Arkham City. Yeah, he's like you fell for the old fake Joker gag. Yeah, that could have been like a fake version of the Joker. They could have made some weird excuse like that.
Yeah.
I like.
They could have done that actually.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it because everybody will rage at me in the comments.
You've already started saying it, so you might as well keep it going.
I'm not gonna say it. I'll get in big trouble.
Why? What? Just say it. Just say it.
All right. I thought Jack Nicholson's Joker was better.
Then.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
You what? You what?
And
it
wasn't better.
That is why
It was not better because he didn't. I suppose as far as the typical Joker would go, then maybe.
As a comic book, as a comic book
character, then but Heath Ledger acted it better. His actual the whole portrayal was just a lot better because it was more gritty and darker, and it just fit in with the times a bit more. Because if you had Jack Nicholson's Joker in The Dark Knight, it wouldn't have really worked because he wouldn't really fit in with the Christopher Nolan Gotham City and things like that.
But it worked with the Tim Burton kind of
the gothic kind of thing that was going on. Things like Beetlejuice and
kind of comic bookish kind of thing.
Apart from Batman Returns, which was pure heavy metal, and it was just disgusting.
I like heavy metal,
it was not nice.
I wouldn't compare it to Batman Returns because Batman Returns sucks.
No, but Batman Returns was just like you know them like it just reminded me of them proper heavy metal bands that would just like have the lead singers that just made you feel sick, like the proper
I'm not gonna say I love
I hated it.
Batman Return, but I did really like it. I'm gonna be honest. I love a guilty pleasure of mine is Batman Forever.
I don't mind
Batman
that
Forever.
much.
No, I don't like Batman Forever at all. It's a terrible film. I hate that film.
I think what helped it most was Jim Carrey as a Riddler.
Yeah, a couple of like months ago, me and Luke were doing like a film marathon, and we watched like I think it was The Social Network, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. We watched The Truman Show, and then we started to watch Batman Forever. 20 minutes in, I was just like, we're turning this off. It was like, why? Just like, it's a horrible film because I can't even sit down and watch it anymore. I think. Yeah, I bought it on DVD thinking I would like it, and then I realised it was actually horrible. Like, I'd seen it like a few times and I enjoyed it, but I think I've matured
As
a
I
little.
said, guilty pleasure of mine. It's so much
Do you
better
think
than
we
Batman
should possibly
and
end
Robin,
this
though.
off? You know, quite
Batman and
soon.
Robin's funny though.
Alright, yep,
Yeah.
let's move on to our We Recommend segment.
Okay. Let's think. I would recommend.
Yeah, sure.
Should I go first?
Yep, you go first.
I will recommend Hot Fuzz because obviously
We
The
should
World's
do
End's coming out soon.
Simon
It is a
Pegg and
really
Nick
good film.
Frost, marathon podcast. Possibly be quite
What? Just what?
a
what?
really, really
Watch them
in-depth
at the same
review of
time as
all of the
doing it.
films of theirs.
Why don't we do a commentary?
Mm.
A film commentary. We just start it all at the same time and then we both talk about the film. Like that would be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
But
cool.
anyway, yeah.
Hot
Fuzz, great film.
Yeah, it's really, really action-packed, I suppose, and it's got a lot of comedy in it as well.
Comedy. It's like dark comedy. It's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna recommend The Social Network.
That's a good film.
It's a really, really good film.
I'm gonna
recommend
Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
That's a good film. Good film.
That is a great
really
film.
like
Any particular reason, or do you just like it? Alright, awesome.
I will.
Watch The Social Network if you have a Facebook account, or if you don't have a Facebook account. It's just a pure great film.
Yeah, it is actually really good. I've watched it about 30 times.
And you never go out of it.
Yeah, it's true. It is a good film. Are we wrapping this up now?
This
or
call has been going...
Are we going to stay on?
Do you want to keep it? Do you want to just keep talking for 9
call
minutes
has been
so it
going
goes
on
for 2
like
hours?
2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah. No.
Probably about an hour and
this
40.
podcast be?
Or something close. Oh, okay.
Well, let's just keep talking. So I want to go
About what? We haven't really got anything else to talk about now.
We did that.
How about we just review
last
random
episode.
films?
That could get a little bit messy, though, don't you think?
I think we've done a lot for today.
Yeah. Well, we.
Okay, we will
next
get a
weekend I
special guest
can't
on.
do the podcast, so I'm not going to be. Yeah. But after that,
we might have the director on by then. Next week.
Awesome. We could do our classic films podcast soon as well, because I've still got that list of films.
Well, we might film that after this, so we have something for next week.
Yep.
Actually, yeah, that's not a bad idea.
All right, guys.
Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and share.
All right, cool. Go to my channel as well, please.
That's a wrap.
I'm not really sure if I think it's going to be the best of the year.
No.
Yeah. How about The Last Stand, guys?
Oh, God.
I didn't like The Last Stand that much, to be honest. I thought it was pretty average. it was. I think it had some pretty badass action, but in parts it was pretty boring. Like I think the story was a little bit far fetched. Like it just. I don't know. I just didn't really believe anything that was going on.
It proves how bad Arnold Schwarzenegger is as an actor.
You've got to admit.
He actually can't act.
You've got to admit the only thing which he acts in which works is Terminator because he can't act and he's like
he doesn't need to act.
And Kindergarten Cop. I liked him in that Kindergarten Cop.
I didn't mind that film, but
I like True Lies and. What's the other one? Well, Terminator 1 and 2. There's another.
What about number 3?
I've got that on DVD.
Terminator 3 is not a good film.
Oh, I bought that on DVD.
It is a terrible film.
I don't. Oh, now you've made me not want to watch it.
I don't think Terminator 3 is terrible. I just thought everybody got a little bit disappointed by it. That's all.
It was a bit pointless. It didn't really do anything.
Yeah, because at the end of Terminator 2, spoiler alert, at the end of Terminator 2, doesn't Arnie he goes into lava and stuff, and that's like where the film ends, and he's in Terminator 3. So I don't really get that, but yeah.
Alright, what do we give The Last Stand?
I'd probably give it about a 2 out of 5.
1.5.
I'd probably give it a 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
Right. Alright, that's not very strong for The Last Stand. Anyway, let's move on to Halle Berry's The Call.
Didn't see this one.
I heard about it. Isn't it about her just on the phone to someone the whole time or something?
No. Like she takes matters into her own hands.
Yeah, but she's on the phone to someone who's in trouble and then she saves them or something stupid.
Yeah. It's like that. I liked it. It's really thrilling and suspenseful. Not the best script, but Halle Berry, one of her best performances. It's really thrilling, and I was on the edge of my seat because thrillers like, for example, Gangster Squad, that was meant to be a thriller. Like some thrillers can't even get me in the middle of my seat, to be honest. But this one had me gripped. The story was so entertaining. Not entertaining. It was so kind of raw and kind of real. Like this happens to people. So I guess
he looked like all dark, like he was gonna like go around killing people and stuff. And
he kind of does.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a bit of it's a bit different. I didn't really know it. I thought it was an interesting twist. I think it was pretty cool how it was a Christmas movie, but it was based at Easter. But that was about the only thing that I really thought was good about it. I think it was an average film. I'm not going to buy it, but I think...
But the animation is the best of last year.
It is good.
But I watched Brave again today, and I thought that animation was so realistic.
I'm going to watch Brave again, because I think I need to give it
You guys are probably going to kill me for this, but I kind of enjoyed Madagascar 3. Kind of.
So did I.
Oh, good. Thank God I'm not the only one. I thought it was better than the second one.
It was a lot of fun.
Madagascar 3. Oh my God.
It's better than the second one.
No,
Madagascar 3 was actually funny. Besides
all right, let's just... Oh, can we talk spoilers? It is only Madagascar 3, so... Can I talk a couple of spoilers about it? Right. At the end of Madagascar... No, well, in the middle of Madagascar 1, they are, like, taken away from that zoo because they're wild animals. Yeah. And then at the end of Madagascar 3, they go back, and there was some massive, like, everyone's cheering and stuff, and then they get put back in, like... They get pretty much said that they can go back into the zoo if they wanted. And it's like... can they though when they've just been like sent out to like where they got put on a ship?
And it's so stupid how they swam to Monte Carlo.
Yeah,
that was kind of funny though. The bit where like Melman the giraffe's head went out the water though.
Yeah, but
I kind of cringed a little. I was a bit.
Yeah, I did. Like, how the hell did Alex the Lion actually do that when in the first one he's scared of water?
It's supposed to be light-hearted.
Yeah, but they make it pretty clear that he does not like water.
Yeah, I know.
And
we obviously took this movie a bit too seriously, but overall, I thought it was funny.
It deserves that.
But I didn't.
Yeah, I'll go with that then. Actually, yeah, fair enough. I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't special in any way.
What are we gonna score Rise of the Guardians?
Oh,
3.
yeah, Rise of the Guardians. Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 2. I don't mean to be a party pooper, but I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, fair enough. I can understand why someone might not like it if they're going in thinking it might be funny. So.
No, I got into it a little bit more, knowing.
But if it say that the main character was someone like a bit more of an unknown, because it's Halle Berry, didn't like kind of take you out of it a bit? Like it's clearly not going to happen.
It didn't, because she had
I can't take Halle Berry seriously in anything.
No. After Catwoman, I guess no, not even gonna bother talking about it. It doesn't even deserve to be mentioned.
What about in X-Men? X-Men, you could not take her seriously in that either.
No.
Oh my god.
She has a weird hairstyle in this, so you're kind of wondering, is this Halle Berry, or is she coming in later in the movie? Because she has like this really strange hairstyle.
Better than being stripped half naked and calling herself a superhero or whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this
I watched
a 4.
Catwoman the other day. It is terrible.
It
is very bad.
I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
What, The Call?
Yeah.
Really? I thought it wasn't supposed to be that good. Actually, that's quite surprising, because it doesn't really sound like it's about much. But I suppose it's your opinion, so...
Yeah, it has a quite interesting story, like, if you actually give it a chance. It takes a while to set up, but I think those are the moments you'll cherish the most if you just pay attention.
Awesome. Are we right. What we're moving into now?
Rise of the Guardians. I did not like this.
I enjoyed Rise of the Guardians.
I didn't mind it. I thought I was in for something that was like funny, but I think
it was not funny.
It took itself a bit too seriously. That's what kind of took me out of The Dark Knight Rises. That it's too serious. But this, I did kind of enjoy it.
Because the thing
The Dark Knight was way too serious for
the Dark Knight was serious, but it had the Joker as kind of a dark comic relief. Whereas in The Dark Knight Rises, it's just like, well, there's nothing funny in this film.
Yeah.
I think Rise of the Guardians, though, it was an enjoyable film, but I got into it. I was thinking, I'm not really laughing in this film, and it was entertaining to a certain point, but the ending just kind of wrapped it up in about a minute, and then it was done. It was like you watched a whole film for virtually no reason. It was like I don't know. It was above average. I wouldn't say it was amazing, but I'd like to know what you didn't like about it though, because I thought it was alright.
When I saw the trailer,
I thought it was boring.
When I saw the trailer,
it was one of the most boringest kids movies I watched in my life.
I thought when I first saw it that it was like an animated movie for adults who see like Santa and... Hello guys, and welcome to the Nostalgia Film Podcast with myself, Josh. We have also Joe and James here today as well.
Hello.
So what's going to be happening in this episode, we're going to be reviewing films like The Big Wedding, The Last Stand, The Call, Rise of the Guardians, The Avengers, and Ironman 3, both an unspoiler and a spoiler review. We're going to talk about The Dark Knight Rises and why we personally think we need to rewatch it. We're going to do our box office predictions with the USA. Just a reminder that The Great Gatsby and Peoples is out. We're going to do James's news segment, trailer reviews for the Wolverine Comic-Con trailer, Red 2 and White House Down, the new Channing Tatum film. We're going to do 2 battles today. We're going to do our first one will be Man of Steel or Iron Man 3, which one we were most anticipating.
Well,
then we're going to do Marvel Cinematic Phases, and then we're going to do our Justice League, what we would prefer to see, Justice League or the Avengers 2.
Okay.
Got a couple of little, what do you call it? Yeah. Are we gonna move straight into reviews or?
Yep, we'll go straight into The Big Wedding.
Okie dokie. Well, I haven't seen that film, so that's pretty much just gonna be you, Joe. I don't even know anything about it either. Apart from it's a big
wedding. It's got an all-star cast: Robert De Niro, Diane Keaton, Susan Sarandon. It's got a really good Oscar-worthy cast, and it's a waste, to be honest. It's one of the worst movies of the year so far. Its script is just dreadful, dying for some, this, uh, dying for something new. Like I've already seen this stuff before. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. Honestly, it's one of the worst movies of the year so far, and it's not even disappointing because I wasn't even expecting much from it, and that's where
who's the lead in?
I'm not very sure, to be honest. It was just so jumbled.
A comedy that I think is going to be good this year is Hangover Part 3, though I went to Guildford yesterday, I saw posters everywhere advertising it.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it just because it looks different. But Hangover 2 was just the same as the Hangover 1. It was a complete waste of time. So
yeah.
I don't really know. I will watch it, but
I didn't expect funny. I just expected a light-hearted, fun family film. And I didn't get that. But let's move on to
The Avengers!
My second movie of last year, The Avengers.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr., you are awesome.
Right, I'm not going to lie. I think every time I watch The Avengers, it gets a little bit worse.
No, don't say that. I think it gets better.
I think it's a bit more boring when I watch it.
Yeah, that's true, because the first time I watched it in cinemas, I thought it was amazing. I went to watch it again in cinemas, and it was good. And then I watched it at home, and I'm just like, this isn't as good as what I remember. And it's probably just because once you've seen it, and it's like, I don't
you've experienced it.
Yeah. It's not really...
Like, you've experienced, like, all these Marvel characters coming together, and I think the first time, that's something special, because, like, that's never been done before.
Yeah. But, no, I get a little bit disappointed each time I watch it, but it is still, like, probably definitely one of the best films of last year.
Yeah, it was my second favourite after Looper.
Is it just me?
Looper was a good...
does Tony's suit with the triangle on its chest annoy you?
No, actually.
For me, I just hate it. It's supposed to be a circle.
Yeah, but when I look at Iron Man 2 and then I look at Iron Man 1 and I see the circle annoys me. So I just got used to the triangle. I actually quite liked Iron Man 2 compared to a lot of people. I didn't mind it. But I thought it was pretty good, but a lot of people
I thought it was disappointing, but I still had a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can watch it like whenever you want. You can rewatch it like.
Someone comes around my house and says, "Hey, do you want a light-hearted film to watch?" Yeah, why not put on Iron Man 2?
Yeah. Whereas the first Iron Man's actually a really good film, and you have to savor that moment. The first one has some incredible scenes in it. You know, when there's like he's in the cave and all that, and he's just building that like suit out of like scrap metal. That's like probably one of my favourite scenes in that film.
But I think that the Avengers was really funny at some parts as well. Cause
the Avengers did have quite a lot of humour, but not like kick-ass humour where it's just like it's supposed to try and be funny.
Comedy. Yeah. What are we gonna give the Avengers?
4.5 out of 5 arc reactors.
5 out of 5.
I'd give it a 5 out of 5 for my first impression, but probably about a 4.5 on like because I watched it the other day and